Yo, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a streaming overlay that you can use for XSplit or OBS or whatever streaming software you're using. So if that's interesting to you, stay tuned. Now, if you haven't got XSplit yet, go to growonyoutube.com/XSplit. If you go through that link, it does help out the channel if you're going to like download it or try it out or anything like that. I believe you can get XSplit for free for about 14 days and then you can pay after that. But there's also a great deal available on the site. I think you get like, I don't know, a wild percentage off if you go through that link right now. You'll see at the top of the page in it. But before we get into the video, let me quickly introduce myself. I promise it won't take too long. I'm Jay Carter Ray from growonyoutube.com, teaching you how to be better at YouTube marketing and online business. I'm a YouTube certified marketer and I've been able to create a full-time income from my own online endeavors, and I want to help you do the same so you can wake up in the morning doing something you want, doing something you love instead of something you hate. So does that sound good? Yep, let's get into it then. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a streaming overlay. Now I'm going to be very real. Haven't streamed in a bit, to be honest. I haven't used my streaming overlay in a bit, to be honest, but I do know how to create streaming overlays, and I'm just going to show you how to create a really simple one so that it doesn't take up too much space and it solves the purpose that it needs to serve. So let's go to Photoshop, and here is a overlay that I had earlier. Now, if you're going to have a webcam on here, then you'll change this a little bit. You'd also have a webcam square or something of that nature. Let me quickly open up another overlay. Okay, I don't have an overlay with the webcam square, but if you wanted to do that, you could just make a square and then put your webcam over that, and that would be pretty easy to do. But in this video, we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be showing you how to make the webcam square and all that sort of stuff. If you want to know how to do that, leave a comment down below and I'll make that in another video. So right about now, I'm just going to show you how to go through the process of creating this overlay. So let's create a new project, and we want to make the project size 1920 by 1080. Now this will make our project 1080p. So if we're streaming in 1080p, we kind of want our overlay to be in 1080p as well. So let me just type overlay X, example overlay. And basically you don't want a background in it. So the background is something that you really want to get rid of, but we'll leave the background for now. Actually, no, let's take it off, because there's really no need to have this background because it's white and then we won't be able to see the white writing and stuff like that. So what I've done with this is I've just had a few different texts on this overlay. So first of all, we got don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're streaming on YouTube, that might be a good thing to have there, so you don't have to say, you know, like and subscribe every half an hour or whatever. Then I've got a thank you to patrons text, and then here is where the current patrons names will scroll past. Then we've got top donators, so people who donate via super chat and all that sort of stuff, their names will scroll past over here. And then I had some promotional text to get people to come and play on my Ark server. So this would be happening while I'm generally playing Ark. I'd have this this text on. And then we have my sub goal at the bottom, because I was trying to get to 20,000 subscribers last time I streamed. So that's how far away it was before that's how long ago it was when I streamed a game and had this overlay and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I would have my active subscriber count there out of 20,000. So this is a really basic overlay. You don't want to add too many things because then it can get cluttered, and you don't want to take away from the game and you basically performing. So you want it to be as slick and you want it to be the least intrusive possible, so it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't take people away from what they're trying to experience. So in order to do this, it's very easy. So we're just going to use text. Let me write don't forget to like and subscribe, and And as you can see, this text is gonna be way too big. I don't like Photoshop sometimes because you can't actually select things unless you see it. See, really annoying. So here, what we'll do with this specific font, you actually want 2 spaces between each word, but that's not something you need to worry about. We actually won't have the and there. We'd get the and sign because it takes up less space. And we'll size this down. We could size this down by using the size up there, but I'd rather just size it down using this transformation box. So in order to do that, you need to make sure you've got show transformation controls ticked, and then you want to hold shift while you're actually sizing this. If you do not hold shift, then you may create a terrible shape like this. Your text might turn out looking like that, which you can't actually see what's going on here because, you know, it's got a see-through background. Wow, shouldn't have done that. But, you know, let me quickly show you how it looks because it doesn't look good. No, we want bottom layer. There you go. Now, if we was to do that, like, look at that. If you're trying to just resize and you don't press shift, anything can happen. So make sure that you're pressing shift every single time if you're trying to get something resized. So let's go back. We have to make this smaller because this is way too big. It's going to take up way too much of our space. I think that is probably a good size, but I did let go of shift a little too early. You don't want to let go of shift until you've let go of sizing that. So after you've let go of the actual mouse, that's when you can let go of shift. So here I can write, don't forget to like and sub, and I'll add an exclamation mark as well. And then what I'll do here is we need to go into the blending options. So I'll press the right click or the right mouse button. Then we go to blending options, and then we'll add a drop shadow to this, but this drop shadow is a bit too much. We don't want this to be so shadowy, so we'll bring the distance in a little bit. We brought that to 8, and we'll leave the spread where it is. I think that looks pretty good enough. And what I did with the previous overlay is I added a stroke to it. The reason I did this was so that it's much easier to clearly see the actual words. So as you can see, it's easy to see those words clearly no matter what's in the background. If there's white in the background, then you can still see the words because of the stroke on there. But the stroke that I've actually got on the other thing is quite more than that. I think we've got it at like 5. No, that looks a bit too much. 4 looks okay. Honestly, I don't like the stroke that thick. So, but you can change it how you want. So here we've got the stroke, and then for all the rest of the text, we can just duplicate this layer. So we don't have to do it again and again and again. So I can write patrons here. And now we've got the text duplicated. And as you can see, Photoshop just automatically clicks it into place where it needs to go. If you haven't got Photoshop, there will be a link in the description down below so you can go and get Photoshop, and that will help out the channel. Just go to growonyoutube.com/Adobe to get that Adobe suite. But I do recommend getting Photoshop if you've started making money with your channel already. If it's before that, you don't need Photoshop yet. Get something that's much cheaper or use something that's free. It will take you a little bit more time, but Photoshop's quite expensive. You don't really want to have a monthly bill if you're not making any money from your YouTube channel. So here we'll just write patrons, and what I did on the previous overlay is I just basically changed the color. So we could change the color over here, and we'll just change that to red. And then you could add a white stroke, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So we can have that there. And then if we want more red writing, we can copy the patrons here, and then we can do top donators. And now we can simply move that over. And when you see all those 3 lines, that's how you know it's lined up properly. Like there, the middle line, top line, and the bottom line. Otherwise, you haven't lined it up equally across. So we're gonna do it about there, and then we'll just change this to say top donators. And we do need to get that double space, otherwise that looks weird. We should do double space before that as well, before the colon, because we are using a text that is just, it's just really close together. So you got to do double spaces with this. You might not have to do that depending on what font you're using. So here we have our top donators, and you know, the distance between these words will depend on what you're doing with Streamlabs and how many names you have and all that sort of stuff. So you just need to really put the overlay on your stream and see how it looks. That's what I usually do. So this is thank you patrons, not patrons, so it's different, but it's essentially the same thing, innit? And then at the bottom I just have the sub goal as well. So we could duplicate this and write sub goal, because then this gives your community and your viewers something to work towards. Maybe you'll have a donation goal or something like that, but I don't really like to deal with that sort of stuff. I like to make money from selling things more than begging, to be honest. But you know, if you want people to donate to you and all that sort of stuff, that is your thing. I just don't think it's a great business model. So sub goal, although if you're on Twitch, then subs would be people who are actually spending money on you. So we do sub goal, and then we just do a bunch of spaces. So there's space there, and then we write whatever the sub goal is. So let's say 40,000 is our goal. There we go. There's a sub goal. It's at the bottom. And then to finish this off, what you do is you'd connect something like Streamlabs, and you'd actually make it so that when you load up XSplit and you load up this overlay, you actually get the right information coming across these places. So you see your top donators, you see your patrons, you see how many subscribers you actually have at this point in time. If that is something you'd like me to show you how to do, you'd like me to show you how to set up Streamlabs so that you can get all this information on your stream, let me know in the comment section down below, because I believe that will help you out a lot. But I don't want to waste the time making it unless people actually want this. Now, to finish and export your overlay so that you can use it in XSplit or whatever streaming service you're using, first of all, you need to get rid of the background. Although since I've got a green background, I could key this out in my streaming software, but that will just be longer. There's no need for that. So we get rid of the background, so you see this checkered stuff in the background, and then we go to file, you go to save as, you pick the folder where you want to save it. I'm just going to save this wherever right about now. And then you want this to be a PNG file. PNGs can be transparent. So when there's no background, if you save it as a PNG file, then you'll be able to actually see the picture with no background. And that's what you want, because you want to put this over your footage, so you don't want there to be a background here. So then you just want to click that save button, which I guess I might as well do right here, and then click OK. And then Bob's your uncle, that is done. You can apply this to your actual videos. I think I've got a video that shows you exactly how to apply streaming overlays, so go and check that out if you don't know how to do that already, because that is really going to help you out to get your overlay working in XSplit if you don't know how to do that. So there you go. That is how you make an overlay. I made a really simple overlay. I don't think you need to do more than this. I think if you do too much, it's just going to be very messy. There's going to be too many things in the way, and it's not going to look great. You basically only really want to touch the top and the bottom. If you go around the sides and do all that sort of stuff, then whatever you're putting around the sides should be making you money. Like, unless, if it's not making you money, don't do it, because it's just a waste of space and it's going to take people's attention away from the actual stream, which is what you want people to actually care about. So I hope this video has helped you out. Remember, if you haven't got XSplit just yet, go to grownyoutube.com/XSplit. Going through that link really helps out the channel. Get a small commission if you purchase through there. And yeah, my question of the day is, do you use a webcam while you stream? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video where you'll learn more about YouTube marketing and online business. So peace out.